In the farthest stretch of the Saharic desert, beyond the shifting dunes and winds that erase footprints within moments, there exists a legend. The nomad's whisper of a tower that no map dares to mark, a structure that rises out of the sands when the moon is high and the desert winds fall silent. Some call it cursed, others a mirage, but all who speak of it warn the same. To find the tower is to lose yourself forever. Merchants told tales of travelers who vanished into the dunes, their last words spoken around desert campfires. We saw something, stone tall, ancient. The sand swallowed the rest. No scholar could prove its existence, for every expedition failed, leaving behind only scattered journals filled with broken lines. The tower watches we cannot turn back. Amara, a historian from Cairo, had spent her life chasing ruins buried by time. She lived for secrets, for the thrill of finding what others thought lost. When she came across a tattered manuscript mentioning the forgotten tower of Kasira, her obsession began. The text was cryptic. The tower stands where the desert sings, where shadows fall but no sun shines. It bore strange ink that seemed to shimmer under candlelight. Amara's colleagues dismissed it as a fable, but she knew legends often held a fragment of truth. Against every warning, she gathered supplies and ventured alone into the desert, guided only by the stars and a fragment of the manuscript. For 7 days she wandered. The heat tore at her skin, and the winds howled with voices that seemed almost human. Just when thirst and exhaustion threatened to claim her, she saw it. A dark silhouette broke the endless horizon, a tower rising impossibly tall, carved from black stone that shimmered under the moonlight. Unlike any architecture she knew, its surface bore symbols etched deep into the rock, symbols older than language itself. Her heart raced. It was no mirage. It was real. But as she approached, the air grew colder, unnaturally so, and her compass spun without reason. The sand seemed to ripple around her, as though they were alive. At the base, a massive iron door stood sealed, rustless despite the centuries. When Amara placed her hand upon it, the markings glowed faintly, and with a groan, the door unlatched itself. Inside, the air was thick and heavy, tasting of dust and forgotten time. A spiral staircase wound upward into darkness, and with each step she took, whispers echoed from the walls. They spoke her name. Amara. She froze, her lantern shaking in her hand. The voices grew louder, some warning, others coaxing. She could not tell if they were memories of those who had entered before, or if the tower itself was alive. At the summit, she found not emptiness, but a chamber. In its center, a stone throne sat beneath a shaft of pale moonlight, and upon the throne sat a figure, the keeper, tall, draped in robes darker than night. Its face hidden beneath a hood, it spoke in a voice like wind over stone. "You have found what no map dares to mark," it whispered. This tower was built not for mortals, but as a prison for time itself. Amara trembled, unable to look away. "The sands erase paths, so no one may find me. Yet still you came. Why?" Her voice cracked. "To remember what the world forgot." The keeper slowly raised a hand, revealing a small hourglass, its sands glowing faintly. "Then remember this. Knowledge has a cost. Once you leave, the tower will mark you. You will carry it with you until the end." When Amara awoke at the base of the dunes, the tower was gone. Only endless desert stretched in every direction. She staggered back toward civilization, clutching her journal, unsure if what she had seen was dream or truth. But her wrist bore a scar, a faint sigil, the same symbol etched upon the tower's walls. It pulsed faintly whenever she thought of it. She tried to forget, to bury herself in work, but the whispers never left her. At night, she dreamed of the keeper's voice. When she looked in mirrors, for the briefest second, the tower loomed behind her. Years passed, and Amara became known for her discoveries, yet she never spoke of the forgotten tower. The secret weighed on her, for she knew what it meant. The tower was not a ruin to be studied. It was a wound in reality, a place that should remain forgotten. And sometimes, when travelers crossed the desert, they too saw a silhouette in the distance, a dark spire against the horizon, but they never returned. The tower still waits. No map will ever mark it, but it is always there, watching patient, waiting for the next soul brave or foolish enough to seek it. Amara thought she had left the tower behind, but the desert never let her go. Sand began appearing in her home, at first in corners of her study, then spilling from books, even gathering on her bed at night. No matter how she swept it away, it returned. One evening, she awoke choking, her lungs filled with the taste of hot, dry wind. In her dream, she was back in the dunes, and the tower stood before her again, taller, darker, its shadow swallowing the moon. She realized the truth. Once you find the tower, the desert finds you. Among her research papers, Amara found a book she did not remember owning, a leather-bound journal cracked with age. When she opened it, she froze. The handwriting was hers, yet the entry spoke of journeys she had never taken, discoveries she had never made. Whole chapters described nights inside the tower, rooms she had not explored, staircases she had not climbed. One entry read, "The keeper has shown me the upper chamber, where the hourglasses of countless souls hang suspended. Each grain of sand is a life, waiting to end. My own hourglass flickers. When the last grain falls, I must return to the tower forever." Her hands trembled as she closed the book. Had she already lived this before? Was she only repeating a cycle? One stormy night, while working by candlelight, she noticed her mirror was no longer reflecting her room. Instead, it showed the black staircase of the tower spiraling upward. She stepped closer, her heart pounding. Whispers swirled around her ears. "Come back. Come back. The keeper waits." The reflection's version of herself was climbing the stairs, lantern in hand, face pale but determined. When Amara touched the glass, her reflection paused and turned to look directly at her. For the first time, Amara realized her reflection had no eyes. The scar on her wrist burned as though fire had etched itself into her skin. That night, she dreamed of the keeper again. But this time, the hourglass in its hand was cracked, glowing brighter with every passing second. "You are running out of time," the keeper said, its voice like thunder in the bones. Amara begged, "Tell me how to stop this." "There is no stopping," it replied, "only choosing. Either return willingly and take your place among forgotten, or let the sands consume your world." When she awoke, her city was shrouded in a strange haze, and the streets were covered in thin layers of sand. Amara knew then. The tower was not simply a ruin. It was a prison holding back something vast, something ancient, and the keeper was not its jailer, but its servant, with one final journey. She returned to the desert, guided now not by maps but by instinct, by the pull of the scar on her wrist. She walked until her strength failed, and as she collapsed, the sands parted. The tower rose once more before her. Inside, the whispers welcomed her back. The keeper stood waiting, hourglass in hand. Without a word, Amara stepped forward, knowing her choice had been made long ago. As the door closed behind her, the tower vanished again into the shifting dunes, its secret preserved, until the next wanderer dares to seek it. Thank you for watching this mysterious journey into Forgotten Tower. Stay tuned for more untold legends and hidden wonders.